Welcome to Module 4. Malware, short for malicious software, is a term we've all heard, but do we truly understand its scope? Whether you're an individual or part of an organization, the threat of malware is real, and it's growing by the day. In this module, we'll explore what malware is, the different types of malware, how it spreads, and most importantly, how to protect against it. First, let's define malware. Malware is any software intentionally designed to cause damage to computers, servers, networks, or personal devices. Its impact ranges from mild annoyances to catastrophic financial loss, data breaches, and disruption of services. Let's dive deeper into its various forms. Malware comes in many different types, each designed to cause harm in unique ways. Understanding the characteristics and behavior of these types can help us defend against them more effectively. Let's explore some of the most common types of malware. We'll start with viruses, the oldest form of malware. A virus attaches itself to legitimate files or programs, requiring some action from the user, like opening an attachment or clicking a link, to activate. Once activated, it can corrupt, delete, or steal data. One of the most infamous examples is the I Love You virus. This virus was created by a Filipino student named Onel de Guzman in May 2000 and became one of the fastest spreading malware of its time. The virus spread through emails with the subject line, I love you, and an attachment named love-letter-for-you.txt.vbs. The .vbs extension was often hidden in default Windows settings, making it appear like a harmless text file. Once the attachment was opened, the script activated, replicating itself to all email addresses in the victim's contact list. It also began overwriting various file types on the infected computers. The I Love You virus infected over 10 million computers worldwide, impacting major corporations, government agencies, and universities. It caused an estimated $10 billion in damages due to data loss, system disruptions, and productivity loss. This attack highlighted vulnerabilities in email security and the dangers of social engineering tactics where people are tricked into taking actions that compromise their systems. The creator was convicted, though his sentence was later reduced. The I Love You virus remains a classic example of how easily malware can spread when proper email security measures aren't in place. Second, worms don't need human interaction. They self-replicate and spread across networks, exploiting vulnerabilities in systems to infect as many devices as possible. Worms pose a significant risk to network security because they contain the same destructive potential as other malware, but with an added twist. They propagate without any human intervention. One of the first famous examples of a worm was the Morris worm, created by a graduate student named Robert Tappan Morris back in 1988. Morris wanted to understand how big the early internet was by making a program that could spread across computers, but things got out of control. The worm spread by exploiting weaknesses in systems. It wasn't designed to cause harm, but it spread so quickly that many computers crashed because they couldn't handle it. About 10% of the internet, which was only about 60,000 computers at the time, was affected. Morris was sentenced to probation and community service under new laws designed to punish computer crimes. Another famous worm was the Code Red worm, which appeared in 2001. It worked by automatically scanning the internet for weak spots on web servers, particularly those running a popular software called Microsoft's Internet Information Services, IIS. Once it found a vulnerable server, it changed the content on websites to say, hacked by Chinese. But that wasn't the most dangerous part. The worm also prepared to launch a large attack on the White House's website by flooding it with traffic, aiming to take it offline. Thankfully, government web administrators realized what was happening and quickly changed the White House's website address, avoiding the attack. The Code Red worm infected over 300,000 computers in just a few hours, showing how quickly worms can spread across the internet and cause widespread disruption. Third, Trojan horses. Trojans are tricky. They disguise themselves as legitimate software, maybe a useful app or a trusted file. But once downloaded, they open the door for attackers to steal data, install more malware, or take control of your device. One of the most infamous Trojans is the Zeus Trojan. It first appeared in 2007 and was often hidden inside innocent-looking emails, pretending to be something trustworthy, like a bank notice. Once someone downloaded the file, Zeus silently installed itself on their computer. What did it do? It stole banking details like passwords and account numbers. People wouldn't even know they were compromised until they saw money missing from their accounts. Over the years, Zeus infected millions of computers and stole hundreds of millions of dollars from individuals and businesses. Another clever trick used by Trojans is to pretend to be something designed to help you. One popular Trojan was fake antivirus, also known as rogue software. It would pretend to be antivirus software popping up on your screen saying, "You've got a virus. Click here to remove it." But in reality, there was no virus, except for the Trojan itself. Once you clicked the link, the Trojan would install malware, giving attackers access to your personal data, or demanding money to clean the fake infection. This type of Trojan became very common in the early 2010s, infecting millions of computers around the world. Many victims paid the fake antivirus company, believing it was real, only to lose even more money. Fourth, ransomware. Ransomware has made headlines in recent years for its ability to lock or encrypt files, holding them hostage until a ransom is paid. It's one of the most damaging types of malware, targeting hospitals, businesses, and individuals alike. Let's look at WannaCry ransomware attack. In 2017, the world was hit by the WannaCry ransomware attack. It spread across the globe, infecting over 200,000 computers in more than 150 countries in just a matter of days. WannaCry exploited a weakness in outdated Windows systems. Once it infected a computer, it encrypted all the files, making them completely inaccessible to the user. A ransom note would then appear, demanding hundreds of dollars in Bitcoin to unlock the files. One of the most alarming impacts of WannaCry was that it hit critical organizations like hospitals. In the UK, hospitals had to cancel thousands of appointments and turn away patients because their computer systems were frozen. Imagine the chaos. Doctors couldn't access patient records, labs couldn't process tests, and many surgeries had to be delayed, all because of a piece of malicious software. Despite the ransom demands, paying the attackers didn't always work. Some victims who paid the ransom never got their data back. The total damage caused by WannaCry was estimated to be in the billions of dollars, affecting businesses, government agencies, and hospitals worldwide. WannaCry taught us a critical lesson. Keeping systems updated and having backups are essential to defending against ransomware. Once files are encrypted, your options are limited, which is why prevention is key. Fifth, spyware and keyloggers. Spyware is a sneaky type of malware. It secretly monitors your activity, tracking what websites you visit, what you search for, and even collecting personal information like your emails or credit card numbers. You might never know it's there, but it's quietly stealing your data. One of the most infamous examples of spyware is Pegasus. It was originally created by a company called NSO Group to monitor criminals and terrorists. However, Pegasus was also used to secretly spy on politicians, activists, and journalists. Pegasus spyware could be installed on your phone through a simple text message, even if you didn't open it. Once it was on the phone, Pegasus could access your calls, texts, camera, and microphone without you knowing. It could track your location in real time and steal sensitive information. This case showed just how powerful spyware can be. It turns your own devices against you without leaving any traces. Now, let's talk about keyloggers, a specific type of spyware that focuses on capturing every keystroke you make. This means that passwords, bank account numbers, and other sensitive data can be stolen as soon as you type them. Keyloggers are often hidden in fake emails or free software downloads. Imagine you downloaded a free app, thinking it's harmless, but in reality, it has a keylogger installed. Now, every time you type something, like your username and password, the attacker sees it. In one famous example, hackers used keyloggers to steal credit card numbers and bank logins from thousands of users. This led to massive financial losses and identity theft. Sixth is adware. Adware is a type of malware that bombards you with unwanted ads. While it might not seem harmful at first, it can seriously degrade your user experience, slowing down your computer, popping up ads everywhere, and even tracking your browsing habits. One notorious example of adware is Fireball. Fireball was installed on over 250 million computers worldwide, often bundled with free software downloads. Once installed, it would flood your browser with ads and even change your default search engine without permission. Firewall wasn't just annoying, it also acted like spyware, collecting data on what users searched for and which websites they visited. This information could be used to target ads or sold to third parties, compromising users' privacy. 7th, rootkits. Rootkits are a type of malware that grant attackers control over a system while hiding their presence from the user and security software. A well-known example of a rootkit is the Sony rootkit scandal from 2005. Sony secretly installed a rootkit on users' computers when they played certain music CDs. This rootkit masked its presence deep within the system, creating vulnerabilities that attackers could exploit. Most users were unaware that the rootkit was present, leading to significant privacy concerns and highlighting how major companies can inadvertently expose their users to risks. 8. Botnets. A botnet is a network of compromised devices that attackers control remotely, often used to execute large-scale cyber attacks, such as distributed denial of service, DDoS attacks. One of the most notorious examples of a botnet is the Zeus botnet. This malware toolkit was designed to steal banking information. Once it infected a computer, that device became part of a larger botnet, allowing attackers to control thousands of infected machines. With Zeus, attackers could not only steal sensitive data, but also orchestrate coordinated attacks, overwhelming banks and online services, causing significant financial loss and disruption. 9. Logic bombs. A logic bomb is a piece of malicious code that is triggered by a specific event or condition, such as a date or the deletion of a file. The time bomb at the University of California. A well-known example of a logic bomb occurred at the University of California in 1996. A disgruntled employee embedded a logic bomb in the university's computer systems that was set to activate on a specific date, just a few weeks after their departure from the institution. Once activated, the logic bomb deleted essential files from the university's systems, causing significant disruptions and loss of critical data. The attack was a harsh reminder of the potential consequences of internal threats within organizations. Malware is constantly evolving, adapting to new technologies and vulnerabilities. As cybercriminals become more sophisticated, new forms of attacks emerge. Let's look at two of the most concerning rising threats today. First up, we have deepfakes. This technology allows cybercriminals to create hyper-realistic videos or audio recordings that can impersonate individuals. For example, imagine a deepfake of a company's CEO, authorizing a wire transfer or approving a critical contract. These fraudulent videos can be so convincing that they trick employees into believing the requests are legitimate, leading to unauthorized transactions or data breaches. One notable incident occurred in 2020 when a deepfake of a company executive was used to successfully scam a British energy firm out of nearly $243,000. The attackers used voice imitation technology to mimic the CEO's voice, convincing a subordinate to transfer funds to a supplier. This incident highlighted the potential for deepfakes to bypass traditional security measures, as the victim had no reason to doubt the authenticity of the call. Next, let's discuss voice phishing, commonly known as Vishing. This tactic involves attackers using phone calls to trick individuals into divulging sensitive information or transferring money. Unlike traditional phishing emails, Vishing relies on the human element of direct communication, making it potentially more persuasive. Malware is like an uninvited guest that sneaks into your home when you least expect it. But how does it find its way into your systems? First up, email attachments. These are often disguised as important documents, think invoices, receipts, or job applications. But beware. Once you open that attachment or click on a seemingly harmless link, you may be unknowingly unleashing malware onto your device. Next, malicious downloads. Imagine downloading a free game or tool from an untrustworthy website. What might seem like a harmless download can quickly turn into a nightmare as malware takes root on your device. Then there are drive-by downloads. This sneaky method occurs when you visit a compromised website. Attackers use exploit kits to target vulnerabilities in your browser, often without you even realizing it. Just browsing the internet can put you at risk. Even advertisements can be dangerous. Some websites display malicious ads that can automatically download malware onto your device without any interaction from you. Now that you're aware of these common malware vectors, it's time to shift gears. Let's talk about how you can proactively safeguard your systems. After all, prevention is the best cure. First and foremost, invest in antivirus and anti-malware software. Always choose reputable programs and ensure they are kept up to date. Think of this software as your first line of defense against the relentless tide of malware. Next, make regular backups a part of your routine. This simple yet powerful step ensures that if ransomware strikes, you can restore your files without giving in to extortion demands. Remember, having a backup can save you from a world of trouble. Don't forget about patch management. Many malware infections exploit unpatched vulnerabilities. Regularly updating your software and systems is crucial for closing these security gaps. Think of it as locking the doors and windows of your digital home. Implementing strong network security measures is essential. Firewalls and intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDS/IPS, act as sentinels, filtering out malicious traffic before it reaches your sensitive data. Consider user access controls. Limiting access to sensitive information significantly reduces the potential impact if an account is compromised. Following the principle of least privilege ensures that users only have access to the data they need to do their jobs. Last but not least, user education is key. Teaching users how to identify malware and recognize social engineering attacks is crucial. Phishing emails and suspicious downloads are common entry points for malware, so the more informed your team is, the better. As we wrap up our exploration of malware and its various forms, it's crucial to remember that malware is one of the most serious threats in today's digital world. The landscape of cyber threats is constantly evolving, and staying informed is your best defense. With the right knowledge and security measures, you can significantly reduce your risk of infection. Stay informed, stay secure.